Washington Towers, Cessna Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf Sierra at runway 19er ready for departure, straight out departure.
Cessna Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf Sierra altimeter tree 0.47 wind 181 at 14. Departing straight out, approved. Cleared for takeoff runway 19er.
Okay, we did have a freak snowstorm like 2 days ago, prior to 60-degree weather, bizarre as it is. It's not this snowy anymore, though. Okay. Looks like we're going southbound. Yep. Washington, D.C. in our back. The obelisk that is the monument, non-pointed. Too low, you say? Okay. That day and night difference with the river right in front of us, just the bridge is the barrier. All right. So we just left the airport. Washington D.C. is just right behind me. So right in front of me, on my right-hand side, is the city of Alexandria. And normally, when I have guests come over from out of country, this is the first place we tend to take them. There we go. Yeah. Can't see much of it because it's blanketed in snow, but this is pretty much a very, very, it's a very touristy town. Kind of old school. And I like going there constantly. It's got, like I said, a beautiful marketplace, restaurants galore. If Frederick was very American, Alexandria is very Euro, if I can understand what I'm trying to say here. Yep. Blanketed it all in snow. I guess I could have just turned off the live settings, but this is a bit more dramatic and realistic. So that's the bridge, 495, Beltway, Washington, D.C. So this is the most southern end of it. National Harbor we'll go over later. It's a casino. So I guess we will drive around the Beltway. Oh my god, that day and night difference scared the hell out of me. Why? I guess we can tour the place now? Seriously, game? I just passed the city, and now we have to go over it again. Said, downtown Alexandria, very, very Euro looking town, shops galore, attractions galore, restaurants galore, beautiful parks on the river end, I can clearly see. Pretty. Actually, this is also actually the most expensive place to live in the entire Washington, D.C. area. This small city right here. This is extremely expensive, and usually reserved for government officials, rather than the general public. And this small stretch of city is Crystal City, sitting next to the neighboring Pentagon City, which for some reason always mixes people up. I mean, they're two separate cities, but they're literally kind of like conjoined. Amazon's headquarters is here somewhere, I'm not sure where. This right here is Pentagon City, and if you can look just underneath where the nose of my plane is, there's Costco. So it's like, what, 5, 6 of them found? There's Costco. That's the mall right there adjacent to it, big ass mall. Pentagon, which for some reason is fully rendered, unlike everything else in this game. Arlington National Cemetery, right below me. Famous war memorial graveyard. Fort Myer Heights, aka Roseland, which is basically where the biggest buildings in DC are. So when you see sort of when you see high skylines and skyscrapers, that's not Washington DC. See, kind of relatively low to the ground. It's the neighboring Roseland. Okay, so this is Maryland, which we already did. We're gonna go now westbound, following this highway below me. Let's see, where should we go? I guess we can go towards that city over there, right where the cursor is at. Yeah, let's go there next. Arlington, which you can sort of consider this entire area being Arlington. It's just one big city, and just with smaller districts broken up. Roseland, Fort Myer, Ballston, whatever this one here, Buckingham. Okay, so yeah, Arlington. Okay, now we've reached Falls Church, which is basically the Bethesda of Northern Virginia, just upper middle class, restaurants, little shops, stuff like that. It's not super expensive compared to, like, say, you know, Alexandria just back there, but this is pretty expensive to live at, and beautiful little suburban town, actually. There's a stretch of shopping right there. This side's McLean, home to the CIA, somewhere around here. I'm assuming it's one of those open patches of snow. Suddenly all the snow just arrived. Did you see that? That's so weird. We just had snow in the beginning, it immediately disappeared, and now we're back with snow. This is totally throwing my eyes off. I didn't know any better, it's getting even more wider. Okay, here we are at Tyson's Corner. This is literally the mega shopping center of the area. If you come to DC and you want to go shopping, you come to Tyson's Corner. Home of two malls, not just one, but two. There's a regular one, which is on my left-hand side, and the fancy expensive one on the other, which is a bit smaller. But this is literally the place to be for shopping. It's huge, and a lot of tech companies are now moving into this area. Surprisingly small for such a big tourist attraction area. Not just tourists from across country, I'm telling you, like I said, tourists from California and their big tech companies have been setting up shop here now. There's the other mall. So there's mall number 1, and mall number 2. So we started over in that direction. We need to go alongside the Beltway, which is right there, so let's let me turn this.
Request flight following.
Cessna Alpha Sierra, X-Ray Golf Sierra, Potomac approach.
Okay, we are now the residential side of Tyson's, Vienna. I believe this is Nutley Street. I'm seeing all the shops there. It looks like the Nutley Street. Dunloring. Guessing that's Merrifield. Yep, that's Merrifield. What is this? Providence? Oakton. So these are all just the various residential districts of Tyson's Corner. Across the highway, it's Falls Church. Off in that direction, it's just Fairfax, I guess. Wolf Trap, famous outdoor pavilion, music center. I'm assuming that's 66, right at the tip of my left wing. Pretty sure it is, yeah, because Merrifield's adjacent to it. Alright, so this is 66. Okay, cool. We'd head down this way towards Fairfax, and then from there, maybe loop around back to Alexandria. Alright, this highway just below me, as I just mentioned earlier, is 66, which is considered the worst stretch of highway on the East Coast. Potentially the entire United States. This highway is horrible. Essentially, it was, when it was first built, your traditional 4-lane highway, back and forth. The problem is that, well, as you can see, it is surrounded, and I mean surrounded, by non-stop residential housing. So, and it's not really cheap to live here, so can you imagine all these houses that stretch on for miles? I mean, it goes beyond the horizon. Imagine each of those houses having at least 2 cars, all driving within basically the same time frame. It's, what, like 2 or 3 million get on it each day? So it's just congested as hell. And the smartasses decided that, you know, to fix this, to alleviate the problem, they decided to basically widen the highway, which you can't really see on here because it's not really updated, but from 4 lanes to what, 5, 6, maybe even 7, I'm not sure. But the problem is that you can't really build a highway on top of a highway that's currently being used. So they've been non-stop just been shutting down portions of it and then just kind of opening the new sections. You zigzag left and right. Oh, Jesus Christ. That is annoying. So yeah, I mean, just imagine just driving, you know, and you have to, it's a straightaway. You can see it here, it's a straightaway, but you zigzag all throughout the entire highway just because you have to merge from the newer built lanes to the older lanes. It's just abysmal. I would not recommend anyone ever to take this highway. It's just horrible. Okay, there's the Fair Oaks Mall. Like I said, pretty big ass mall for a pretty big ass population. And right on the left hand side of my wing, there's Costco. Fairfax Costco. Enough, I'm pretty sure we're like more than halfway done with all these, but there's still a few more we need to go over in the Virginia side, and then we have a few more on the Maryland side.